All right, let's jump right in. We hear about AI all the time, right? How it's going to change literally everything. But what if, underneath all the hype about self-driving cars and amazing chatbots, there's a much deeper economic game being played, a secret shift that could completely redefine what wealth and power even mean? And that brings us to this huge, glaring question at the heart of the AI revolution. It's almost too simple. If AI automates millions of jobs, who is going to have any money left to buy all the stuff that these companies are making? It just doesn't seem to add up, does it? I mean, for a couple of centuries now, we've had this pretty straightforward model of how things work. Companies pay wages to people, those people turn around and use that money to buy products, and all that buying is what fuels economic growth. It's a simple feedback loop, and you and I, the consumers, are absolutely essential to it. But AI comes along and threatens to just snap that loop in half. If you have mass unemployment, you have a shrinking consumer base. And according to the old rules, that should cause the whole system to collapse. It feels like these companies are sawing off the very branch they're sitting on. So that's the real puzzle we're tackling here. Are we just watching a massive collective miscalculation? A huge AI bubble about to pop? Or, and this is the big one, are we actually watching the fundamental rules of the entire economic game get rewritten in real time? To figure that out, we actually have to rewind the clock a bit. Turns out, this idea that you get rich by selling things to lots of people is, well, it's pretty new in the grand scheme of things. There's a much, much older way of thinking about power. Seriously, just think about it. Before the Industrial Revolution, power wasn't about having the most customers. It was about controlling the land, owning the resources, being in the king's good graces. Power came from control, not from trying to sell widgets to everyone. And this leads us to a really key concept called rent-seeking. And no, this has nothing to do with your apartment. In economics, rent-seeking means making money not by creating a better product, but just by controlling something essential that everybody else needs. You're not adding value, you're just sitting at the gate and charging a toll. And don't think this is some dusty old idea. It's happening all around us. Think of a company that owns a life-saving drug patent and can charge whatever it wants. Or one that lobbies for complex regulations that only they can navigate, effectively blocking any new competitors. They're not winning by being better. They're winning by controlling the rules of the game. This logic never left. Okay, so here's the twist. What if that old logic, the one based on control and rent-seeking, isn't just a small part of our economy anymore? What if it's actually becoming the main event? Well, there's a radical new framework called Capital as Power that argues exactly that. This really lays out the whole shift in thinking. On one side, you've got the classic view. It's all about making stuff, selling it to consumers, and paying wages. But the Capital as Power view, or CASP, says that's just the surface story. The real game is about getting an edge over everyone else, what they call a differential advantage, through control and rent. The goal isn't just to play the game well, it's to rig the game in your favor. So under this theory, capital stops being just about money. It's not about dollars and cents. Instead, capital becomes a direct measure of your power to shape markets, to influence laws, to control the very fabric of society. Wealth is just the tool. Power is the real prize. All right, so how does this new way of looking at the world solve our original AI puzzle? Why would anyone build a technology that destroys its own customers if that's how you make money? Well, because if you're looking at it through the capital as power lens, AI's main purpose isn't to make cool new gadgets for us to buy. Its real purpose is to be the ultimate tool for consolidating control. If your goal is pure power, not just sales, then AI is your perfect weapon. So here's the new playbook. Step 1. Forget about selling to millions of people. Instead, you focus on controlling the essential AI and data infrastructure that everyone else has to use. Step 2. Once you control that infrastructure, you can extract rent from the rest of society, other companies, governments, even individuals. And step 3, that flow of income solidifies your power, making it nearly impossible for anyone to challenge you. Consumers are no longer the main characters in this story. And this is maybe the most chilling part of the whole argument. All that social chaos we worry about with AI, mass unemployment, social instability, from this point of view, it isn't some terrible, unforeseen accident. It's a feature, not a bug. It's the predictable, even necessary outcome of shifting from an economy based on consumers to one based on pure control. So where does that leave us? What's the real takeaway when you start to see the AI revolution through this pretty radical lens?
It suggests that there's a huge bet being placed on our collective future, and it's not the one we think it is.
And this is it. This is the big secret. The trillion-dollar bet on AI might not be a bet on creating a world of happy consumers with amazing new products. It might be a bet that the future of wealth accumulation has nothing to do with consumers at all. It's a bet on pure, unadulterated power. We could be watching the very DNA of our economic system being rewritten. For the last 2 centuries, economic power has been tied to mass consumption. This theory suggests we're seeing a great decoupling, where power breaks away from the need for a healthy consumer base and becomes all about control, rent, and having a strategic chokehold on society. And that leaves us with this one massive, haunting question to think about. If this is the direction we're headed, what does power, what does society even look like in a world where the majority of people are no longer needed as consumers for the system to work? That's a profoundly different future than the one we were always told we were building.